What looks easy peasy lemon squeezy but is actually difficult lemon difficult. Maintaining friendships from high school, college after you graduate. People get so busy with work and starting their own families that friendships get put on the back burner. You stop talking to someone for a few months, then it suddenly hits you that you're no longer friends with the person. Reach back out though. Everyone understands, and I've rekindled and kept in touch intermittently with so many amazing people. Yes, we're not best friends who talk every day, but if shit went down I could give them a call, and vice versa, and when we do get together it's a great time. Your good friends will understand that life happens. Text them on birthdays. See them once or twice a year. People with kids gravitate to other people with kids, and us childless adults generally stick with each other. People grow up and move on, but your true friends will still reach out because they miss you. I find being cool with their kids, dealing with them as if they were family, extremely helpful in maintaining healthy relationships with friends that have them. Forget that first year after the kid is born, your friends just aren't in the place to hang out or do anything else. But after that, start having dinner parties at home instead of going out. Have them starting mid-afternoon instead by 8 p.m. so the parents can leave when the kid hits that point in time when a schedule needs to be met, and everyone is happy. You're happy because you keep in touch with your friends. They are happy for having a beer with their mates, especially when they are crawling up the walls, stuck in a world basically ruled by kids. I remember reading the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. Don't laugh, it's actually very good. Been around ages. And the author said, or related, that if you can count 5 friends when on your deathbed you have had a successful life. High school me, reading, thought that was madness. I had way more than 5 friends. 5 is easy. Here to tell you, as you get older, it is not easy at all. Certainly you will know a lot of people that you are friendly with, but real friends, the kind who would lie down in traffic for you. Those are real hard to find. Everyone my age talks to feels pretty much the same, so I think this is more normal than not. Sadly. The mark of a good friendship is one in which you can go a long time without seeing or talking to someone. And the moment you see or talk to them again, it's like you saw them just yesterday. Actually doing things. In theory it's simple. Just do the thing. In reality I procrastinate until I hate myself. When you're too lazy to confess your sexuality, you come out of the dryer instead. I use a wheelchair and people usually don't believe me when I say that getting around can be difficult. Because many of them think that pushing a wheelchair is easy. They literally tell me this. The thing is, when you use a wheelchair all day and it is basically your only means of transportation, it looks more natural. This becomes a problem when I point out accessibility problems. They often don't believe me because they see how I can navigate and assume that it's easy, just because I make it look easy. My dad was in a wheelchair most my life and he made it look super easy most the time. Buff arms, and didn't like to get pushed anywhere. But I also remember places with small ledges that were hard for him. And an apartment I once lived in where he could never come inside because it was a full flight of stairs up with no elevator. Getting around for him obviously took a lot of work. To this day I'm still pissed to see someone without a plate or placard parking in the handicap spot. Finding a career you'll want to go to every day that won't crush your soul. Remember when you were young and teachers told you that you could be whatever you wanted to be? Yeah, not so realistic when you want to pay bills and maybe have a little beer money too. I didn't go to college and struggle with the thought of not being able to have a lateral career move without a degree, but then I see my friends absolutely floundering with their student loan payments and think maybe I don't have it so bad after all. All the feels for this. I only wish I hadn't bought into the college is the only way to go mentality. By 21 my life goal was to not be miserable and everyone assumed I was depressed as all hell, but this is what I meant is finding Some sort of career where I didn't want to blow my head off just having to show up to work every day. One of the things I sincerely wish I had discovered earlier was that college doesn't guarantee that path. Took me 4 tries for a proper degree and another try at a tech school to discover that what makes me happy is farming. Like, literally I was gifted a dozen chickens and was like this. The simple life. Digging in the dirt and raising animals, and it's hard, and so far I still struggle with the beer money, but I'm happy and I love my damn birds so much. Just wish I would have found this before I took out $10,000 in student loans, which I know is a small amount by comparison but still hangs over my head. Committing suicide. Looks easy, but when the time comes, it can be very hard to commit to it. Then you spiral further down the rabbit hole thinking you're so shit you can't even kill yourself. True story. Edit, Christ on a bike, didn't expect such a turnout. I'd like to thank those that gave and all of you sharing bits of yourselves. It's very sad to see so many in the same boat, a little worried it may capsize. Thank you Reddit, hang in there, not like that, put the rope down. You've been great. Been there. Tried that, drove to the hospital instead of going through with it, felt even worse because I couldn't even accomplish that seemingly simple task. Then felt terrible because my wonderful husband had to come pick me up. That was like maybe 4-5 years ago? Things are much better. Got a dog to help me cope, switched up my thyroid medicine and antidepressants, and set up a series of questions to ask myself and for my husband to ask me to make sure we catch anything before I drop that low again. My first baby just turned 1 2 weeks ago and my 7-year wedding anniversary is in a couple days. I'm so glad I failed back then. I hope you're doing well, and if you ever need convincing that things will get better, even if life in general doesn't, you yourself can feel better, then DM me. Even better, get some support around you and be open about what you're going through. I didn't tell anyone for years, and I've got better relationships now because I've talked about it a bit. Definitely wait until they are like 15 or 16 to be completely honest with them. Source, am 16 and my father told me about our financial problems since I was 11, and now I can barely function because I'm so anxious about like needing clothes or shoes or God forbid wanting those things. And also I'm always super anxious, but that's unrelated as far as I know. Socializing with people. I have severe social anxiety, and even small interactions with strangers, and even some people I've known for a while, are really hard for me. I don't hate people or dislike being around them, but I'm just awful at keeping conversations going or initiating them. Outgoing people make it look very easy, for me it is not.